dispel misconception and to give them the devotional credit that they deserve. In all of the time that I've known Lea, she has been an example of the love and joy that Loki can bring into the lives of those devoted to them. And Lea spreads that joy and laughter to all those around her. If my words could have any impact here at all, it would be to ask that you take a moment to allow that joy into your own life, if only through the listening of this book. Introduction. The story behind these stories. To say Loki and Sigyn have had a tumultuous relationship with American heathens is like saying fainting goats are adorable. Obvious, but criminally understated. New heathens looking for advice on working with Loki are often disheartened because of the dramatic discord and conflicting opinions. And in the case of Sigyn, there's hardly even any information at all. As a generational heathen oathed to Loki, he and his bride have been quite active in my life as of late, nagging and pulling strings to convince me to write this devotional. I did so gladly as a gift to Loki and Sigyn, and as a gift to the heathen community. They deserve to have their stories shared, and the community deserves to learn more about them. We are, after all, a bunch of book nerds who love nothing more than research and academic debate. This book endeavors to satisfy both of those hobbies, to teach things you may not have considered, who's ready for a little etymology, as well as splash a little fuel onto the fiery controversy that surrounds the trickster. Loki has been part of my life from my earliest memories onward, even when I didn't realize it. He's had some influence on my paternal grandfather as well, a true OG heathen. Grandpa Frank Svendsen was born and raised in Norway and emigrated to New York City with his family in the last days of 1929, right when the world economy was starting to crumble. It's no small coincidence in my mind that the man I associate so strongly with Loki sailed to a new world in the midst of rising global chaos, even if he sailed on the Stavanger Fjord and not Naglfar. He, and at least one of his brothers, was a proud heathen, and when my French-Canadian, Italian Catholic mother met him as things got serious with my father, his son, she was utterly charmed by his humor and stories of the old ways. So she instilled in her daughter a love for the Nordic worldview, folklore, and mythology. My father was heathen as well, but of the unchurched variety. There were no rituals or religious practices in our home, just the understanding that the old gods were real and, being a military household, in West Germany. Yes, I'm that old. I grew up on the front lines of the Cold War, baby. Entry to Valhalla was the ultimate goal. I grew up heathen, so when I reached those rebellious teen years, my big revolt involved converting to Catholicism. Upon our return to the United States, my mother enrolled me in Catholic school, partly for the quality of education and partly so I could learn about Abrahamic philosophy. I'd grown up completely ignorant of Christianity, and Mom knew I needed to learn about the Bible and the religions that sprang from it in order to understand other people in American society. I had, after all, had a pretty unconventional upbringing and grew up overseas, no less. Christian belief and thought are incredibly pervasive in this country, and I was oblivious to all of it. At some point, I caved to peer pressure and converted. Granted, it wasn't so much wanting to fit in as it was wanting to partake in snack time at Mass. Regardless of the reason, it gave me a taste of belonging to a spiritual community and structured rituals. One of my high school memories involves a group of us gathered at lunch in an unofficial competition to see who had the weirdest family. I won, at least that's how I remember it, with a commentary about my grandfather. He still worships the old gods, I snickered to a group of uniformed classmates. He even has little statue things of them in his bedroom. Such heresy was practically unheard of in the mid-1990s. And the deviancy was all the more shocking by the fact that it was a grandparent partaking in such nonsense, rather than an edgy teen. Another small bit of irony? My Catholic high school's mascot? The Vikings! The principal adored me for my surname,